this is a program for people, a free program for people who are struggling with staying aware, are finding it challenging to function being aware and keep kind of going out, going to sleep, going back unconscious, or just noticing that there's a lot of weird stuff going on in their reality and they're having difficulty making sense of what that is. I want to give you the tools and understandings that are going to help you to become successful with and make sense of the weird ass stuff that goes on in this reality. This reality tries to tell you that it's normal and everything is true and real here, and you're the one who's weird. And I'm here to tell you it's the opposite of that. What if this reality is really, really weird and you're actually normal and you're wondering, gosh, what's wrong with me? Well, what if it's what's wrong with this reality? It's like this reality pretends, it's a big illusion that pretends to be something that it's not. It pretends to be highly functional, and it's no. And you see the truth of those things, and you're like, wow, what do we do with this? Is it me that's messed up, or is it this reality that's messed up? Well, I'm here to tell you it's this reality that's messed up. And I want to explain how that works, and I want to explain how you can be with and in this reality so you're not under the reality and you're not struggling with the reality. You kind of get bigger than all of that. And that's what this Facebook program is about. How do you make all of this work so that you can actually function and have fun? Like, how can you have a life that's enjoyable, playful, and you're doing what you feel good about doing? That's where I love to invite you into in this program. So there, I want to, when I work with people around what limits their reality, there's 5 core areas that seem to jump up for most people. And I want to take you through those elements. And this chart is going to be the foundation that we're going to start referencing, because these are the 5 main categories that I found that seem to lock anyone who's trying to be aware or conscious down. And you can scan this, and we're going to do that, and see which ones of these are most up in your reality. And then I'm going to give you the tools, the core tools that you need to actually change that and get things working again. So that's the whole point about this program. And in this introduction, I want to just kind of give you the rough outline of where we're going to go in this program so you get a feel for it, and you can jump to the areas or topics that feel most relevant to you as we go through this program. So the first category, and ask yourself, truth, how much am I being me and how much am I being something else? And if you're like most people who are attempting to be aware and conscious, that something else seems to be quite present. And it doesn't make any sense initially, but I want to show you how you can get back to the truth of who you are by using these certain processes and these certain tools that are going to get you back to who you are. So in Unit 1, we're going to look at unlocking your authentic expression. It's like, what is it that blocks you from being able to connect to your authentic self? And how can you reconnect to your authentic body? This reality does these bizarre things to I'll say, try to shut down your body. And it's done a really good job of messing with food, messing with water, messing with air, pollution, chemicals in the food stream that mess with your body. And we're going to look at, straight off the bat, the third one here, how can you get your body to be high functioning again? So if you have issues going on with mood, feeling funky, having low energy, boy, have I got some stuff that's going to just like, whoa, really rock your world, and just make life a whole lot easier. And I'll introduce that in Unit 1. So when you look at, we'll look at the second category, how much do you have fixed points of view that are locking you down or obstructing your process? And the way that you know that you have that going on is when you're trying to find out the truth of something and you can't seem to grab it. Like you think you've got it and you move forward with that, and then you find out, no, that's not it. And you think you've got another thing, and then you move forward and it's like, no, that's not it either. It's like, damn it, how do I find out what's really true for me? Especially when my normal heavier and lighter thing or my normal way of getting information from my body isn't working so well. See, the interesting thing about if you have fixed points of view going on, it prevents you from perceiving the truth of your reality. It's like an overlay that repaints your reality, and this whole planet does that. There's these overlays that make certain things seem real and true when they're actually not real and true for you. They may be real and true for other people, though I doubt it. But we want to, it's like, how do we connect you to finding out your truth of your reality so that you can make decisions more clearly, so you can function from the inner knowing that you have rather than the weird crap that this reality lays on you. And then the second thing we want to look at is, what are the blocks that prevent you from perceiving your truth? So you have, as an infinite being and as an aware body, the capacity to connect into all the truth that this universe has to offer. And there's a part of you, and I guarantee it, there's a part of you that knows what's true. But there's also a lot of interference and manipulation in this reality that seeks to hide that. And when you first became aware, you noticed, wow, like I can see clearly all this stuff. And then it started to kind of get funky, and it started to become more cloudy and blurry. As soon as you become aware, this reality alters and starts interacting with you in a different way. And it starts to do things to shut down your awareness and your capacity to perceive. It does not want you to see what's true, because if you see what's true, you're going to start changing stuff, and they don't want you to change this planet. The interference doesn't want you to change this planet. The Matrix wants this planet to stay the way the Matrix designed it, not the way you and the planet want it to be and know what's possible. So it tries to hide that, and using fixed points of view is a huge way that it does that. So let's look at agreements. By now you've already heard that agreements are things that trap you into not being able to be the truth of who you are and the fullness of who you are. I completely agree with that. But you can at any time look at whatever topic it is you're looking at and go, so truth, do I have agreements that are binding me around this topic? And if that feels light, or you feel a big amount of information there, you know, yes, you have that going on. And I've done an immense amount of work in figuring out what all the agreements are and how they bind. And I'm going to teach you all of that. I'm not going to hold anything back in the agreements section. I want you to be able to unlock all the agreements that are designed to bind and limit you, because this reality loves to dump those on your head. Because it's like, what if you as an infinite being do actually exist in a free will reality? Now, do you experience that so much? Depending on the degree that you've attempted to become aware, how long you've been working on it, you've noticed almost increasingly that it's becoming becomes difficult, or can become difficult to step into what you came here to do, because the Matrix doesn't necessarily want you to do that, because it knows you can kick some ass when you start to connect to your superpower and step into the truth of who you are. And it alters your reality through agreement. And we'll look at how it does that. And I'm actually going to go through all the different forms of agreements that are there and give you the exact tool for unplugging from all the agreements. And especially there's these two categories that mess with most people, and they're the energy of agreements that make you feel hopeless, and energy of agreements that feel impossible to change. both of those are actually, whenever you feel hopeless or impossible, I'm like, woohoo, because you've identified the exact frequency that tells you exactly what kind of clearing you need to do to strip that agreement out and get to a free space where it's no longer hopeless and it no longer feels impossible. So that we're going to look at in Unit 3, and that just blows all kinds of things open. In Unit 4, we're going to look at something that I call bindings and rebindings. So, Truth, how much do you have bindings and rebindings locking you down or limiting or constraining you in any way? Just kind of feel the mass of that, or the volume of information there. And when you have that going on, what happens is it feels like you clear stuff and it comes back, and you clear stuff and it comes back, and you clear stuff and it comes back. And the truth is, when you really clear it fully and completely, it cannot come back. And so one of the things that I love to teach people is how to clear so completely that you clear it once and it's gone forever and ever and ever, and it never comes back across all time, space, dimensions, reality. That's the level of clearing that I want to guide you to and teach you the process. It's not difficult to do once you understand how the matrix in this reality messes with your mind and messes with your perception to try to limit you. So in Unit 4, in this Facebook group, we're going to take you into unlocking the binds and rebindings that keep reinstalling or give you the feeling of reinstalling. It's not actually, it's something that you're not actually clearing completely because of the way it's wound around you. And I'm going to show you how to just clear all those. It's actually fairly simple once you get the sense of what's going on with those. So in the fifth category, and this is actually the biggest of all of those, I'm going to put it last. You can jump to it anytime you want, but is, Truth, how much do you have active manipulation messing with you? Just kind of feel the magnitude of that information. It's like if you have explored with entities or demons, demonics, creatures, aliens, we're going to look at the whole genre. Like, how do we clear all the crap that's in this reality that messes with you? And it hides, it plays this game where it tries to be invisible. But as you become more aware, you start to recognize there's shit moving around in my body, in my reality, and it's doing stuff. And it's like actively blocking me. When you first start out becoming aware, you have like all the automated stuff of this reality that keeps everybody unconscious, still limiting you. And so active manipulation isn't so active in your reality. But once you access your consciousness and once you start becoming aware, the active manipulators that the matrix controls start becoming more active in your reality, or can be more active in your reality, because they recognize you're escaping, you're getting out of the matrix, you've unplugged, you've taken the red pill or blue pill or whichever pill it was to get out, and it's like this matrix starts to now actively start engaging you. It's like, oh shit, she's getting loose, we better get her back down again. I want to show you how to find that stuff and how to clear that. It makes itself feel like it's bigger than you and that it's more powerful than you. And it's all a lie. It's actually, it uses these intense layers of illusion to get you to think that it's more powerful than you, but it's actually using your power against you, or tricking you to use your power against you. And because they're invisible, you think it's you limiting you. So if you feel like, if you find yourself putting yourself down a lot and like, God, I can't believe I keep doing this, I keep blocking myself, I keep getting in my own way, you notice it feels heavy when you say that, and it just like doesn't go anywhere when you try to change that. It's because what if it's, so Truth, how much are you blocking and limiting you? And how much is someone or something else blocking or limiting you? And feel that information. That's active manipulation. So I'm gonna show you how to recognize these guys and how to banish them permanently. And you have a choice. You can banish them just from your space, or you can do what the people who, once I teach them the bigger picture of what really goes on in this reality, it's like, what if you have the capacity to banish them from this entire planet? And that's the game that I play. It's like, no, you're out of not only my reality, but this whole fucking planet. There are tons of them. And it's like, what if they don't belong here? What if they're not part of the authentic, symbiotic planet and universe and process that's unfolding here? What if they're corruption of this reality? And what if the only way to handle it is, or what if a way to handle it is to remove them from this reality? And the more you remove them, it helps everybody to become more aware more easily, because there's less power the matrix has over all the people in this reality. So that's what I'm going to explore with you in Unit 5, is how do you actually find these little bastards that mess with you, and how do you get them out of your reality? I found that for people who become, the more aware you become, the matrix tries to find other ways to clamp you down and to squash you. What I want to do is, I've learned, not necessarily all, but a lot of ways that the matrix does that. And I've cataloged them and I've categorized them, and I've found ways of clearing them permanently. And I want to teach you, show you all of that stuff, because my objective is to empower you to go beyond and create more. And this reality does not want you to do that. I have a program that I actually call Out-Creating the Matrix. And in that program, I actually invite you to out-create me. I want you to not have to follow me. I want you to create beyond me. I want to give you the basics that you require to go bigger, to step out of limitation, and to go beyond the matrix of this reality and create way bigger than even Jaden has ever created. That's what juices me. That's what makes me excited to wake up in the morning. It's like, how can I empower people to create beyond, and even to have their own students and clients that they can empower to empower other people and go beyond that. Like the level of game that I'm here to play is to support people to get bigger and to go beyond all of that. So that's a little summary of what we're going to explore in this program. So if any of this seems interesting to you, then you're in the right place. And what you want to do is you want to go down through, I've broken it into units, and in each unit there's the topic, and then there's like kind of introductory stuff, and then it goes deeper. There's a deep dive area where there are tons of resources. It's like, how deep do you want to go? I've got more resources than you can possibly consume. I often use the analogy of, it's like, I'm going to give you a buffet. And when you go into a buffet, you don't intend to eat everything that's there, all of it, so there's nothing left. You sample the things that seem interesting to you, or that seem like, ooh, this would be tasty, and you try that. And if that's good and you want more, then consume more of that content, like watch more of those videos or go deeper into that topic. If that's not interesting, it's like, yeah, I'm not, skip it, move on. Like, none of this is required. All of this is optional. Use your awareness, use what feels light to you to find the things that are most up for you. But in general, these 5 topics are kind of the groundwork, the foundation for all of the work. And you're going to go, whoa, there's a lot of stuff here. And there is, but my objective is to give you the basics. These are just the basics. my advanced courses, Out Creating the Matrix and the other courses I do, they go way deeper into other stuff. And it's easier for me if you have the basics. I don't have to teach you the basics when you come into that course. You already have the basics and you can go deeper. I still teach the basics, but you get it on a whole other level because I talk at these deeper levels. So that's my invitation to you. Go down in the group, play. Feel free to ask questions. I respond to questions in the Facebook group here. So you can always post things and I'll respond. It may not be immediate, but I will definitely get back to you. Or my assistant, Marilyn, will also respond to questions. And feel free to answer each other's questions. There's a lot of people in the group and there's a lot of brilliance here. Like, you guys are really freaking amazing. And feel free to share what you know and support other people. I want this to be a hub for people to support each other. That's the gift that we can be, is like, how can we support each other in becoming more aware? So always respond in a way where you're asking questions to invite people to look deeper at things. Don't tell them so much what's true, but invite them by asking questions into looking at what is going on beyond that and behind that, or pointing them in the direction of other tools that you know. So that's the core of this area. I'm going to stop talking now because I can keep talking for a long time. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the inside. Bye.